Hey there, Joseph Pate here, better known as Medicare Joe, and in today's Medicare Basics video, we're going to talk about what Medicare doesn't cover and how you can be proactive in protecting yourself. And yes, that is right. Medicare does not cover everything, and there are a lot of costs that you can incur when you're on Medicare. And a lot of times, unfortunately, people aren't even aware of these exposures because the normal agents aren't even bringing them up to their clients. And I want to start with talking about the biggest exposure, in my opinion, which is skilled nursing care. And it seems like Medicare just is not increasing any benefit to this over time. It looks like it's decreasing, in my opinion. So with skilled nursing care, what I mean by that is if you are injured and you need to go into a rehab facility because you can't stay home, let's say you fall and break your leg, or just later on in life, you can't perform 2 out of the 6 activities of daily living, that would technically qualify you to be able to go into a skilled nursing facility. And with Medicare, it's almost non-existent. So with original Medicare by itself or with Medicare Advantage, you're only covered in fully for the first 20 days. Now, if you have a Medicare supplement plan with original Medicare, you're covered up to 100 days in that aspect, so just over 3 months. But past that 100-day mark, there is absolutely no coverage for you unless you have long-term care insurance or you have a skilled nursing policy that can cover you for a couple years. So in my opinion, with 70% of people that are on Medicare now needing to use skilled nursing facilities at some point in their life, it's a huge exposure that Medicare doesn't cover this. And this is why we coach and educate our clients through what's called a recovery care program or a home care program. These are additional policies that you can purchase with your Medicare coverage to cover that gap and extend that 100 days an additional year or an additional 2 years on top of that, depending on if you can qualify. In the description below, I'm going to link our 2 Roads to Medicare worksheet, and there's a section at the bottom that talks about our coverage levels, is what we call them, and it talks about the different things that you can get covered within, in addition to your Medicare plan to help cover these exposures. Now, the second biggest exposure, in my opinion, is when it comes to critical illness, and more specifically, cancer. I had a whole video that I did about this that really goes in depth on how cancer's just coming out with new treatments and new remedies for people to try to help, and a lot of that is not on either the Medicare formulary or you need prior authorization for a lot of this stuff. So when it comes to critical illness, and specifically I mean cancer, heart attack, stroke, the costs are astronomical. On the drug side, you have that $2,000 cap that they'll cover for you past that limit, but those medications have to be on the formulary for that $2,000 out-of-pocket cap to apply. So if you have medications that are not on the formulary, you're paying for those. And these are costs that can be $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, just Medicare has no coverage for. So we need to now think, do we have the ability to self-fund this and pay this out of pocket if this were to happen to us, or purchase additional policies to cover those gaps? So not only co-pays for drugs, but any non-medical, anything that's deemed non-medical for cancer. So think about, travel to and from facilities, having maybe family members have to take time out of work, loss of income there, and so forth. Like a lot of that stuff people don't think about that Medicare doesn't actually cover for you, which is a huge gap, and again can cost tens of thousands of dollars. And then the last one seems kind of simple that Medicare should cover it, but it's dental, vision, and hearing coverage. So dental, vision, and hearing, although included on some Medicare Advantage plans, if you're going the original Medicare with a supplement route, it is not included with any Medicare plan. So you would then, go to the marketplace to buy a private dental, vision, and hearing policy. And with dental work, if you've had any done, it's getting more and more expensive to have these things done. So again, something that can end up costing you thousands of dollars. And when I talk with my clients, and again, you'll see this at the bottom of that worksheet link below, the different coverage levels and the costs associated with it. But when I talk with my clients, and we talk through not only their Medicare plan, but their retirement plan and what that looks like for their lifetime, having enough money to last their lifetime. a lot of people don't factor in these exposures because they never thought to, right? But skilled nursing care at some point, that might be, if you don't have anyone to take care of you at home, that might be inevitable for you, and that can really drain assets. And dental work, it seems like, obviously can as well. And everyone knows the whole cancer being more environmental now. 1 in 2 men get it, 1 in 3 women. So as a recap, when we talk about Medicare and what it does and how it works and what it covers, it's important to know the things that aren't actually covered. There's an old adage, you don't know what you don't know. And my goal with our team here is to educate people on these unknowns, so at least they can then make an educated decision. And if they're comfortable continuing on with Medicare with the exposures, great. At least they have the information and they can make that decision. A lot of people just aren't being told this stuff, and unfortunately find out the hard way when they go to seek that benefit, and now they finally need to pay out of pocket. If you want to see what that protection looks like, you can give our team a call, but you can also click the link below, download your full 2 roads worksheet, see what that looks like there. My team's happy to give you exact quoting in your area if these are exposures that you wanted to be covered with your Medicare plan. And if you've liked this video, found it of any value, please hit that like button. That gives us great feedback to know that, hey, the content we're putting out is actually what our listeners want to hear and see. And if you'd like to be notified when we post new YouTube videos, click that red subscribe button. That'll allow you to receive a notification every time we come out with a new YouTube video, so you don't fall behind and you know everything you need to know to make an educated Medicare decision. Thank you for watching today's Medicare Basics series, and take care.